Guys, welcome to another video for our Java playlist. Guys, in this video we will be having a look at the primitive versus non-primitive data types. One of my subscriber here asked me kindly make a video on primitive data types and thanks for your content. So this video is actually for this person, and also it is the part of this Java series because primitive data types and non-primitive data types are also part of this series. So let us have a look at what are primitive data types and what are non-primitive. So let me put a comment here and let me write here one is primitive data types and the other one is non-primitive data types. First we will see the definition of this one. In simple words, we can say that these are the built-in data types and these are built by programmers. Okay, you would have a question, what does that mean? For example, if you used here int, you would see that its color had been changed to blue. Its font color had been changed to blue. Okay, and if I say here I, just for an example, you would see that there are some differences in between their font colors, and if I put a declaration, you would see that yes, these three things have different colors. This one is the data type, it is the variable name and its value, we know that, and this is the main thing that you would give, that would give you a hint what are primitive data types and what are non-primitive. So one thing here, notice that whenever we put an integer, its color is changed to integer. Okay, if I used here boolean, you would see that yeah, it's gone change again. But if I used here capital B, and yes, this is also a data type here, but you can see that its color is not changed. Did you see that? Let me put another boolean here and like that you can see that its color been changed. Okay, so this is a shortcut in IntelliJ that whenever you use a primitive data type, its color being changed, and you have noticed that when we have used the strings here, its color is not changed because it is not the built-in data type. It is created by other programmers for our is instead of when we use characters here, we have to use the character array, for example s, and then put a lot of contents there and then combine them and then create a string. Instead of this, programmers have just created a string library or string class. You can see that it's the it is present in java.lang and it is a class here string, and you can see that it's contain it is equivalent to this character of abc data, and that's the reason here the developers or the programmers of this library have helped us a lot, and it is not a primitive data type. Let us write here what are the most important ones that are used for these that are primitive data types. So I'm copying all these things here. Let me copy them and paste them here. The other one is boolean, the other one is long, the other one is short, the other one is byte, the other one is double, the other one is float. So these are the most let me close these notifications. So these are the most important and most used primitive data types that we had used until right now. But there are a lot of other non-primitive data types because they are developed by the programmers, and there are a lot of programmers in the world, and they would create different variables for them. For example, we had seen how to take inputs from the user by using this scanner object here. And we have already seen that yes, it is also a variable. I know that it's a object here, it is an object here, but yes, it is also a data type. This scanner object is also a data type, and it is created by the programmer And in the object oriented programming, we will see that how to create your own data types. Those data types won't be primitive data types, because they are not the built-in data types. Those data types are developed by you and other programmers, so those are non-primitive. Remember this one. So here I am using system.in, or we can also use system.out, and these are the differences between the primitive and the non-primitive data types. And when we will start the object oriented programming, then you will get a better understanding of these non-primitive data types. So I hope so this question would become clear to you. But if you have still some questions, then ask me in the comments below. I would love to hear your comments. So guys, enough for this video. We will be coming with a brand new video in which we will be having a look at the functions. And yes, you are now going to start the functional programming. So we will be meeting in our new video. Until that video, stay tuned and don't forget to hit the subscribe button and like button, and also share with your friends. Goodbye.